In this lesson, we are going to look at perpendicular lines. Now, at the end of the lesson, you should be able to determine if two lines are perpendicular to each other and determine the equation of a line, given that it is perpendicular to another. Now, what are perpendicular lines? When two lines meet and when they form 90 degrees, they are the perpendicular lines. So at the point where they meet, the angle they make must be 90 degrees. Alright, let's explore this situation a little bit further. We've got two lines that I've plotted here. So y equals to 3x plus 2 and y equals to minus 1 over 3x plus 4. Now, when they crosses, this is actually 90 degrees, and therefore they're perpendicular lines. Pay attention to the gradient. Let's call this M1, let's call this M2. So M1 now is actually 3, M2 now is minus 1 over 3. Can you see the relationship? Let's try another one. This time, y equals 2x minus 6. Let's call this M1. Y equals to minus half x plus 1. Again, you can see that they cross at 90 degrees. And this time, M1 equals to 2 and M2 actually equals to minus half. Alright? Third situation, y equals to 5x minus 1, y equals to minus 1 over 5x plus 7. Again, 90 degrees. So M1 is 5, M2 is minus 1 over 5. Alright? So let's go back again. This is 2 and minus half. This is 3 and minus 1/3. And 5 and minus 1 over 5. Can you see the relationship? Let's look at it. So for any two perpendicular lines, let's say y equals to m1x plus c and y equals to m2x plus c, you can see that m1 times m2 has to be negative 1, or m1 equals to minus 1 over m2. So you can see that first slide, m1 is 2, m2 is minus half. So therefore, 2 times minus half equals to minus 1. Or you can see that 2 is minus 1 over 2. So that's it. This is really important for you to know. If you're given that line G has the equation of y equals to 5x plus 2, and you're asked to find the gradient of one of the lines perpendicular to G. So it can be any line as long as they're perpendicular to G. We know that M1 now is actually 5. And we know that M1 times M2 equals to minus 1. Therefore, M2 equals to minus 1 over M1, which is minus 1 over 5. So the gradient of any line that is perpendicular to G is minus 1 over 5. Alright, I would like you to try this question. Pause the video for a while. You need to find the gradient of the line perpendicular to Z. You know that M1 is now minus 2. So M2 is minus 1 over M1, which is minus 1 over minus 2. Therefore, it's actually plus 2. You've found the gradient of the line perpendicular to Z. Next, are the lines y equals to 3x plus 6 and y equals to minus 1 over 3x plus 4 perpendicular to one another? You know that it is, but we need to show the working. So we know M1 is 3. M2 is actually minus 1/3. Therefore, M1 times M2 equals to 3 times minus 1/3 equals to minus 1. Therefore, the two lines are perpendicular. Always answer the question. Now, a line passes through the point 3, 7 and is perpendicular to another line with a gradient of 2. Find the equation of this line. So we know that this is M1. So M2 is actually 1 over minus 1 over m1, which is minus half. Alright? So we know that this line, m1 is actually, m2 is actually minus half. So y equals to minus half x plus c. And it passes through 3, 7. Substitute 3 as x, 7 as y. So we now have 7 equals to minus half. X is 3 plus c to calculate c. So therefore 7 equals to minus 3 over 2 plus c. Continuing on the next column, in the next column. So therefore c equals to 7 plus 3 over 2, which is taking it to the same denominator, 2, 14 plus 3, which is 17 over 2. Therefore, the equation of this line is y equals to minus half x plus 17 over 2.